Landscape Ontario recognizes that its work and the work of its community partners take place on traditional Indigenous territories across the province. We acknowledge that there are 46 treaties and other agreements that cover the territory now called Ontario. We're thankful to be able to work and live in these territories. We're thankful to the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people who have cared for these territories since time immemorial and continue to contribute to the strength of Ontario and to all communities across the province.
Good evening. Tonight you're going to hear a lot about dichotomy, the relationship between fire and water, for instance. It's made me reflect on the balance our profession had to strike in what was another strange, challenging, and ultimately game-changing year. We had the good, a booming demand for our goods and services, and the not so good, supply chain issues and unbelievable material prices. Homeowners wanting pools and having to tell homeowners when they could expect to get those pools. More work than our industry could ever want, and a shortage of workers to execute it. I'm hopeful that the horticultural industry will find better equilibrium this year, specifically on the labor issue. Know that Landscape Ontario is committed to finding solutions. It's been satisfying to see the public give more value to what we do, to finally understand what goes into a backyard oasis or urban beautification, and how these projects enhance lives. You are true professionals. In a few short days, at our AGM, I'll officially hand over the reins to incoming LO President, Lindsay Drake-Nightingale. I wish her and the board great success. And so as one of my final duties as your president, it is my great pleasure to say, let the show begin.
Welcome to the 49th Annual Landscape Ontario Awards of Excellence, celebrating the best of the landscape and horticulture profession in Ontario. Here's your host, Carson Arthur.
It is so great to be back at the Awards of Excellence. And once I was assured that there'd be no need for me to swing from a trapeze or to walk a tightrope, I was happy to be here. Of course, it's not so great that once again, we can't be together, but I promise we've got a dynamite show ahead. Now, our theme tonight is based on the 4 elements, and there's no doubt that when digging in the soil or planting trees, watching the water flow, or soaking up the sunshine, the members of Landscape Ontario are in their element. While getting ready for the show, I learned a lot about how the 4 elements keep each other in balance. And I got to thinking about other famous quartets, like you got 4 Wheels, 4 Seasons, 4-Way Stops, you got the Fab Four, and for you fantasy fans, you got the Fantastic Four or the 4 Hobbits. There were 4 Ninja Turtles, and of course, we can't forget the 4 Golden Girls and the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Our awards usually have 3 big prizes: the Don Sullivan Award for Grounds Management, the Casey Van Maris Award, and the coveted Dunnington Grub. But I am excited to announce the addition of a brand new prize: the Neil Vanderkruk Award for Excellence in Landscape Design. Now we have 4 top awards. Of course, there is one thing that is better as 7 instead of 4, and that's days of vacation. Our presenting sponsor, G&L Group, is once again giving one lucky viewer the prize of a week-long stay at Mont Tremblant. The rules, they're the same as last year. For all of those who registered at the President's reception, your names have been automatically entered into the prize draw. So watch your inboxes tomorrow for the reveal of our lucky winner. Bon chance! Now, we understand that lots of you have gathered your teams and are watching from the office, and we want everyone to engage with us and with each other during the show. Join the conversation in our chat window right over here. Or if you're posting on social media, remember to include the hashtag LOAwards. Now, why don't you go get the youngest member with you to take a picture of your whole team watching the show, and then ask them to post it. Now, over the last 2 years, we've all had to be more like the water element, to go with the flow. And no one understands this better than Landscape Ontario's Deputy Executive Director. To say a few words, please welcome Joe Salemi.
I am so excited to get to welcome you to this year's award ceremony. You know, when kids are asked what they want to be when they grow up, I'm pretty sure none answer trade association director. When I was young, like my 5-year-old son Matthew, I waffled between astronaut and wrestler in the WWE. I started working with the Canadian Nursery Landscape Association, and I knew I had found my calling. During my time at CNLA, and afterwards when I pursued an amazing opportunity in the tech space, one of the people I looked up to most and learned from is Tony DiGiovanni. I have Tony to thank for bringing me to Landscape Ontario and helping my big kid dream of leading this incredible organization come true. I know that I've got some big shoes to fill, and quite honestly, I don't think anyone on the planet could fill his shoes. And that's why I'm going to have to wear my own and blaze my own trail. Together, let's take Landscape Ontario on its next great journey. My transition phase began just as COVID hit. Getting to know everyone over Zoom hasn't been ideal, and there are still many of you who I still need to meet in person. Hopefully, 2022 will bring opportunities for us to connect face to face. COVID presented a unique set of challenges for LO, but we took advantage of them. We'd already been planning virtual educational opportunities. COVID just put that into action sooner. We converted seminars, meetings, and events into online presentations. Even this, the Awards of Excellence, is now our second virtual ceremony. All these things haven't been easy, but the LO staff family has shown exceptional fortitude and resilience. When faced with a new challenge, the response from the team is always, "We're on it." And I can't tell you how proud that makes me. It was because of the team's can-do attitude that we've been able to move the needle on Landscape Ontario's strategic priorities, the biggest of which is the industry's labor shortage. We have a tremendous team dedicated to advancing apprenticeship for our trade. Together, we have this gift of financial incentives. Now we need you to sponsor an apprentice. Back in 2018, we did a strategic planning session. One of the most important recommendations was for Landscape Ontario to develop a center of excellence where people could be recruited, trained, and placed with employers within the landscape horticulture industry. We're executing on that now through the GROW program, getting ready for opportunities at work. While still in the pilot stage, we're actively recruiting, training, and placing people with eager employers. We have much work to do, but we're building the foundation for this amazing workforce development strategy. One of my favorite quotes is, "Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity." Well, I think we do a pretty good job here at Landscape Ontario seeing the openings and going for it. Nothing will stand in our way. We'll go over, under, around, and in some cases right through the barriers and roadblocks that will be put before us. Not that different, I suppose, from a professional wrestler. And so, I say to all the members watching, dream big, find your niche, love what you do, and be in your element. I want to thank our event experience manager, Amy Buchanan, for all her hard work on the awards program. Landscape Ontario also thanks the volunteer judges for adjudicating this year's entries. The awards program is successful because of the care and expertise you bring to the judging process. And finally, I offer my congratulations to all of tonight's winners. Enjoy the show.
The first element we should talk about is fire, because it's often where things begin. That burning desire to branch out on your own, the spark of an idea, a passion for what you do. Fire in the garden means illumination, warmth, shadows, and safety. Just what the judges were looking for in the landscape lighting program.
Landscape lighting design and installation, under $10,000. DeMarco Landscape Lighting, silver. Proscape Land Design, perfect ambiance. Proscape Land Design, Pinehurst Retreat. Landscape lighting design and installation, $10,000 to $30,000. Balsam Creek Landscaping, Lighting Oasis. DeMarco Landscape Lighting, Proctor. International Landscaping, Rear Yard Retreat. Partridge Fine Landscapes, Cozy Up. Landscape lighting design and installation, over $30,000. DeMarco Landscape Lighting, Lake of Bays Project. Holiday Lighting. Lawn Savers Plant Healthcare, Lakeside Glow. Nutrilon Burlington Irrigation, Christmas amongst the trees. The Landmark Group, Blumination.
Being a landscape professional means putting your boots on the ground, grinding through the long and hard days, and doing whatever it takes to make your business stand out. Rain, shine, come hell or high waters, you don't quit. Grit and hard work are in your blood. Passion and dedication are in your DNA. But you're not just a contractor, you're an artist. You don't just build, you build masterpieces. You don't just renovate, you redefine. You don't just create, you create space for memories to be made. There is nothing ordinary about you or your business. So why would you settle for products that don't share that vision with you? Why would you settle for anything less than extraordinary? Why would you use anything but Inlight?
We've seen tremendous demand for our industry's products and services. With that has also come historic membership growth. Nearly 600 new members joined last year. That's about 50 new members each month. To all of you who are new to the Landscape Ontario community, welcome. We're so fortunate to have you here with us. What's interesting to note is that just over 1,000 members have been in business for 5 years or less. It takes fire in your belly to launch your own business. And that's what's prompted us to establish a new special award. The Young Entrepreneur Award recognizes a member under the age of 35 for outstanding achievement in establishing and growing a successful horticultural business. The first recipient is John Karpov. John showed how passion, hard work, and determination are the elements needed to build a company from the ground up. John, it's my honor to present you with Landscape Ontario's first ever Young Entrepreneur Award. Congratulations.
Landscaping and interior is my passion, biggest part of my life. This year was the most challenging for our company and all our companies in this industry, but we all went through it, we made it happen. I'm grateful to be part of it. I'm very grateful and honored to receive this award, so thank you very much.
When we talk about the element of air, we're really kind of talking about plants. I mean, they create the air that we breathe after all. The element of air, invisible yet constantly in motion, gives life to the landscape. Think swaying meadows, rustling branches, and whether it's native grasses or wind chimes, the winners in our next program really know how to keep their products moving too. Let's look at the Garden Center program.
Outstanding promotional event. Baltimore Valley Garden Center. Christmas classes and COVID. Sheridan Nurseries, Georgetown. Welcome to the Artisan Market. Outstanding display of goods. Seasonal. Sheridan Nurseries, Georgetown. Welcome Christmas Market. Outstanding display of plant material, annuals and/or perennials. Sheridan Nurseries, Georgetown. Welcome to the jungle. Outstanding display of plant material, your specialty. Port Carling Garden Center. Welcome to the tropics. Permanent display gardens, under 500 square feet. Sheridan Nurseries, Georgetown. A colorful entrance. With a healthy social media following, published books, and engaging podcasts, the father-daughter team of Stephen Biggs and Emma Biggs have harnessed the power of social media to connect and educate. Their popular website, foodgardenlife.com, boasts how-to instructions and video tutorials on creating and sustaining edible gardens. At only 16, Emma has been hailed as Toronto's tomato expert and is already on the lecture circuit. Stephen and Emma were gold winners at last year's GardenCom Awards for their audio program, the Garage Gardeners Radio Show. Landscape Ontario is proud to present the Garden Communicators Award to Stephen Biggs and Emma Biggs.
I had a really great conversation last year. Really sticks out in my mind, and the funny thing is, I didn't understand very much of it. I was hanging out in my backyard when my neighbor Myra came to get me, and Myra and I have had lots of fun gardening in our front yards. We've taken out lawn, we've shared plants, we've shared stories, and we've done a lot of that with the help of Google Translate because we have different mother tongues. Well, that day that Myra came to get me from the backyard, she was trying to talk with another neighbor who was walking past, but they didn't speak the same language. I didn't think I was going to add much to the mix because I don't speak Mandarin, I don't speak Russian. But when Myra realized that this other neighbor spoke Russian, she started typing into her phone and came up with the translation of that one plant that they'd been trying to talk about, the hollyhock plant. And this was a 6-foot-high hollyhock that Myra was really proud of. So before long, they were standing in front of that plant and I was taking a picture of the two of them smiling. So think of this, one hollyhock plant, 3 languages, and shared smiles. That openness to communicate, that goodwill, that kindness, all around one plant is just a tiny example of how much richness our industry can bring to people's lives.
And that is why it is a huge honor to be receiving Landscape Ontario's Garden Communicators Award. Looking at past winners, we have big shoes to fill, but we love what we do. We love our industry. We love the plants, the soil, and the gardens. But most of all, we love the people, the designers, the landscapers, the gardeners, the growers. And with those people, we love the stories that come with them.
That's because the stories teach. The stories inspire, and stories help people see themselves doing something. Stories help more people who aren't gardeners to see themselves gardening and to see themselves creating landscapes.
And so thank you for bettering our industry. Of course, thank you to Landscape Ontario. Thank you to all of our colleagues and all of our friends and everyone who inspires not just the public, but us too. It's this industry's moment to shine, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic going on. And it's our job to help people think of plants and gardens as something that they can do not only to better themselves, but to better their communities and the world.
And it can all start with something as simple as shared smiles around a hollyhock plant.
So thank you to Landscape Ontario for honoring us with this award.
With each passing year, the presentation of this award seems to take on greater importance. This recognition is an opportunity for Ontario's horticulture industry to applaud environmental stewardship and leadership with the hope of inspiring others.
This year's recipient of the Environment Award is Colliers International for its Edible and Pollinator Garden Program. As the largest real estate services firm in Canada, with 64 million square feet of leasable commercial space from coast to coast, Colliers stands to make a huge impact by rethinking its outdoor spaces.
In our Toronto Star column last year, Ben and I profiled the large urban farm at 95 St. Clair Avenue West, replacing concrete and annuals with kale, onions, and pollinators. It proved to be a huge success.
On behalf of Landscape Ontario, we stand to commend Colliers for their efforts and present them with this year's Environmental Award.
Colliers Real Estate Management Services and Desjardins Financial are pleased and honored to receive this Environmental Award for the Edible and Pollinator Garden at 95 St. Clair Avenue West. We would like to thank our team at Colliers as well as our collaborators at Desjardins. It's one thing to have an idea, but it's another thing to go for it. Desjardins was our first client to be bold and experiment with something new. Thank you. We would also like to thank Hoffman Hayes and Aaron Mulhall for growing the food on site and engaging with the local community, as well as our local food organizations who work to ensure that the food we grow on site gets to the right people. Let's move the dial as we prepare to return to our traditional office spaces. We have an opportunity to reimagine the spaces we manage. As one community member said to us last season at the garden, I hope one day it all looks like this. Wouldn't that be great? Imagine the possibilities. Thank you.
So you know that classic pickup line, what's your sign? Well, I'm a Libra, and according to the Zodiac, that's an air sign. Air people are thinkers and communicators. They analyze, synthesize, and probe. They love creativity and harmony. Sounds like landscape designers to me. From the projects you're about to see, the entry that earned the highest marks from the judges will be crowned the inaugural winner of the Neil van der Kruk Award for Excellence in Landscape Design. Who will it be? You'll have to stick around to the end of the ceremony to find out. But here now are the winners for landscape design.
Private residential design, under 2,500 square feet. Welwyn Wong Landscape Design, Hillside Retreat. Private residential design, 2,500 to 5,000 square feet. Daru Designs, Serenity. Greer Design Group, Lakeshore Villa. Partridge Fine Landscapes, Infinite Possibilities. Plantinins Landscape Group, a touch of pizzazz. Plantain's Landscape Group, a whole new perspective. Private residential design, 5,000 square feet or more. Earthscape, elevated estate. Partridge Fine Landscapes, walking on a dream. Websites. Groundhog Landscaping. Streamline Irrigation and Landscape Services. Yards Unlimited Landscaping. Social Media Marketing. Groundhog Landscaping. Rockscape. ME Contracting.
Good evening. The Prosperity Partners program has continued to thrive throughout COVID, with our peer-to-peer network gaining more and more members with engagement that's never been more palpable. Business owners and managers supporting each other through challenging impacts of the pandemic. It doesn't get any better. Last year, our members saw 12 Business Bite webinars, each with a timely business topic and a fantastic industry expert as my guest. Our twice-monthly virtual Connect Lounge meetings saw discussions that were member-driven deep dives into relevant and timely business issues. As the developer and facilitator of Landscape Ontario's peer network, it's my pleasure to present a particularly special award this year in a new category, Rookie Entrepreneur of the Year. Our winner was selected by the Prosperity Partners Committee. She has been deeply engaged with the Prosperity Partners Network as a project manager for a previous employer. And just as the pandemic started in 2020, our award winner bravely took the plunge and started her own landscape design business. Her dedication to our profession and her steely resolve to succeed has impressed all of her Landscape Ontario peers. I am super proud to present the Prosperity Partners Rookie of the Year Entrepreneur Award to Heather Gerard, owner of My Landscape Artist, based in London, Ontario. Congratulations, Heather.
Our business is about growth and fostering a beautiful environment. My involvement with Landscape Ontario has done both for me. It has helped me progress from a student member to a member of peer-to-peer to becoming an entrepreneur in this amazing profession. Without the guidance and encouragement of this organization, I would not have developed the skills nor courage to do that. So many have helped me along the way, too many to name here. Please know how much I acknowledge and appreciate you and your support. Thanks for naming me Rookie of the Year.
I like to think that being a member of this association is a bit like water. When water is spread too thin, it's ineffectual. But when collected and focused, wow, it is a powerful force. In the garden, there is no doubt that water is a fan favorite.
ponds, pools, fountains, water walls, waterfalls. But with the climate crisis upon us, the issues of too much water or too little water are front page news. That's why recognizing our members' good work in this next awards program is so vital. This program consists of 2 awards of excellence in the categories of potable and non-potable water. So let's open the tap on irrigation.
Water Conservation Award, Non-Potable Water, Groundhog Landscaping, Tiny Irrigation.
At Aspire Software, we know that when you're running a landscape company, it's important to have the right tools for the job. The Aspire platform offers the end-to-end functionality you need to keep your entire business running smoothly and profitably. From estimating, scheduling, mobile time, and invoicing to real-time job costing and more. Aspire provides access to information from every area of your company and real-time visibility into your gross margins so you can make proactive, informed decisions that enable your business to grow and thrive. Aspire. There's a reason it's the #1 business management software for landscape contractors.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Don Sullivan Award is
The Cultivated Garden for Contemporary Beauty.
I'm just a person who loves gardens. That's who I am. I was working at a full-time job and then after work going and gardening, just on my own at first. Then a friend started working with me and then my husband said, quit your job and just go for it. So I took a leave of absence for a year, 2002, and then I never went back. Yeah, just, it blossomed into this. We're 13 now, plus my office staff and me. Kelsey and Leslie are the 2 that look after this property. And then Kelsey and Leslie have staff that works with them. Barb has been with me since day 1. We're Barb 1 and 2. It's a very interesting garden because when you see it from the street, it doesn't really look like what you're seeing right now. The front is fantastic, but simple. But then you open the gate and you walk back here and it's like, whoa. You don't see gardens like this very often. You kind of expect it to always look the same front and back, the same aesthetic. So that's what I love about this. You walk in and it's a surprise. To keep it from getting overrun and wild and crazy and out of control, there's skill involved in that. So it shows, I think, the true gardener's skill, whether it's the front or the back. When I spoke to my client and told her, of course she was thrilled. I mean, why not? Who doesn't want to be the owner of an award-winning garden? But it put a pressure on us to make sure it stayed like that. The thing for me, and this is honestly no BS, is it's a testament to my staff's work. It's a testament to what they can do and the quality of the work that we strive for and how hard they work. They work hard here and all the gardens, and they deserve the accolades. We're lucky people. We get to work through a pandemic. We get to be in beautiful gardens every day. We have a lot to be thankful for. And so I think that's what the legacy should be, is be thankful for what you have and do what you love and love what you do.
Design and installation, those are very solid things. They are what they are from the exact moment pen goes to paper or a paver is placed. But after the build, then the garden starts to ebb and flow. Trees grow, flowers multiply, furniture breaks, families move, and navigating these waters are the hardy maintenance crews. The Awards of Excellence Maintenance Program recognizes exceptional grounds management projects that showcase, among other criteria, originality, quality turf cut and turf health, expert edging and trimming, evidence of IPM, and plant health and vigor. Here are this year's winners.
Corporate Building Maintenance, under 2 acres. Boss Landscaping, Janko Steel Limited. Corporate Building Maintenance, over 2 acres. Strathmore Landscape Contractors, Concilium Place. Multi-residential maintenance, under 2 acres. Reliable Care Premium Landscapes, Tapestry. Multi-residential maintenance, over 2 acres. All-Weather Landscape Co., Kensington. Non-turf maintenance. It's about time. Urban Oasis. Strathmore Landscape Contractors, Edifice 2000 McGill College. Private residential maintenance, 15,000 square feet to 1 acre. Snyder Turf and Landscape Care, Paradise Lake Retreat. Private residential maintenance, 1 acre or more. Rockscape, Skeleton Lake Cottage. Special interest maintenance, residential or commercial. Reliable Care Premium Landscapes, ARIA.
Out there, it's every man for himself. Do more, do it faster, do it better. The work is tough, and building an experienced team is even tougher. The moment you've got the game figured out, everything changes. It's hard to know where you stand. But in here, you'll find your footing. It's a place that's as much a community as it is a store. A place where knowing you and your business go deeper than simply knowing your name. A place where the solutions aren't limited to what's on the shelf, and the experts behind the counter pride themselves on going beyond the call. In here, you'll find people who see eye to eye, who stand shoulder to shoulder, who work side by side to build things, great things. In here, you'll find common ground. We are Site One, stronger together.
I've been asked to make a very special presentation. It is my privilege tonight, on behalf of all Landscape Ontario members, to thank our outgoing president, David Wright. When Dave began his term, he set out a vision for the association and its members, to build on our legacy to ensure a prosperous future. Dave, your presidency is one for the history books, successfully guiding LO through a pandemic. Know that your own legacy is secured. I'm delighted to welcome you to the prestigious rank of past president, where your talents and contribution will continue to benefit the entire industry. Please accept this president's ring as a reminder of our gratitude.
Thanks, Carl. This is a great honor.
The fourth element is earth, said to symbolize stability, groundedness, abundance, permanence, wisdom, and prosperity. The perfect element then to describe our final awards program, landscape construction.
Special Interest Construction. Elite Concrete. Enchanting Eden. Concrete Elements. Elite Concrete. Floating Fantastic. Cast-in-place barbecue counter and wall. Elite Concrete. Modern Magic. Concrete porch with wall. Elite Concrete. Patterson Meadows. Walkway and patio. Elite Concrete. Rosedale Retreat. Concrete steps and terrace. Griffith Property Services. It's all in the details. 3-season space. Griffith Property Services. Let's get outside. Outdoor kitchen pavilion. Rustic Impressions. Featherstone Park. Modern wall with reclaimed elements. Rustic Impressions. Flower Power. Artistic fire pit. Yards Unlimited Landscaping. All arrows point to home. Stonework Compass. Theme Gardens. International Landscaping. Native Perennial Pollinator Garden. Silver Fern Landscaping. Japanese Cloud Garden. Water Features. Bonavista Pools. Cottage Country Family Pools. Bonavista Pools. Muskoka Oasis. Bonavista Pools. Redwood Muskoka Retreat. Bonavista Pools. St. Anne's Meditative Therapy Spas. Jackson Pond. Carson's Pond. Jackson Pond. The Pillar and Post. Monet Pond. Lavish. Stonehouse Pond. University Pro Landscapers Paving Pools and Spas. A Big Splash. Commercial Construction. Multi-residential and industrial. $100,000 to $250,000. Oak Ridge Group. McNabb. Three Seasons Landscapes. Pathway to Success. Commercial Construction. Multi-residential and industrial over $250,000. Oak Ridge Group. Mohawk Park. Oak Ridge Group. The Gardens of Pillar and Post. Terra Vista Landscape Construction. Wander the Resort. Residential Construction. $10,000 to $25,000. Creative Concepts Landscaping. Vanderland Scenic Entrance. Lasting Impressions Landscape Group. Lakeshore Boulevard. Oak Ridge Group. Joined Elegance. Oak Ridge Group. Sleek and Smooth. Residential Construction. $25,000 to $50,000. Balsam Creek Landscaping. Henderson Residence. Infinite Possibilities Group, Backyard Escape. Kenneth Morgan Pools and Landscaping, Le Chateau. Oak Ridge Group, Finishing Touches. Residential construction, $50,000 to $100,000. Aquaview Pools, enjoy the view. Boss Landscaping, Mezabada Residence. Creative Concepts Landscaping, Elzinga's Country Paradise. Dr. Landscape, Cafe Corretto. Fiona's Garden Gate, charming cottage on Ricketts Lake. Fiona's Garden Gate, modern cottage on Lake Muskoka. Green Roots Landscaping, Patton. Griffith Property Services, let's stay home. Griffith Property Services, make it your own. Infinite Possibilities Group, Rockin' Roncesvalles Manor. Infinite Possibilities Group, Sunnyside Retreat. Jonathan Robert Landscape and Design, Chesswood Retreat. Kenneth Morgan Pools and Landscaping, welcome to my house. Lincoln Woods Landscapes, Sunnydale. Oak Ridge Group, Mansfield Drive. Parkscape, Bedford Park. Precision Landscaping, Forest Lane Drive. Precision Landscaping, Via Romano Boulevard. Rustic Impressions, think artfully. Rustic Impressions, Where's Waldo? Scenic Stone Landscape and Design, Copthorne Cove. Silver Fern Landscaping, Suburban Escape. Wild Ridge Landscapes, Java Street Modern. Yards Unlimited Landscaping, Urban Sophistication.
Horst Dickert was an expert in almost every area of horticulture. He was legendary in his encyclopedic knowledge of plants, especially native plant material. His big claim to fame, Expo 67, this was the project that earned him the nickname Dynamite Dickert. Horst was brilliant and passionate, two qualities that made him a most memorable teacher. He loved sharing his knowledge at Landscape Ontario seminars, and he was instrumental in creating many of the industry's manuals and guidelines. In celebration of Horst's love of native plants and landscapes, we are excited to create this award in his honor. In 2011, I had the privilege of presenting the very first Horst Dickert Award, named in honor of one of our industry's pioneers and someone who I considered a personal friend and mentor. The Horst Dickert Award is a special one in that it honors an entry to the awards program that displayed the best use of native plant material in a sustainable landscape. This recognition is not given every year, but this year one project was deemed worthy. To the team at International Landscaping, it's my pleasure to announce that your project, Native Perennial Pollinator Garden, Theme Gardens category, is a recipient of the Landscape Ontario Horst Dickert Award. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Haig. It was exciting to be a part of a project that promotes sustainable initiatives and the use of native planting in the landscape.
We had a lot of fun working with our client on this project, developing this meadow-style garden, and the educational signage was a big part of it as well. That level of interaction, watching people interact with the garden, and we thank you so much for the award.
The Landscape Ontario Legacy Award was created in 2005 to recognize a lifetime of achievement in the horticultural industry. This award is given to those who not only impart their knowledge on the people around them, but who also leave something for the generations behind them. Tonight, we bestow this recognition posthumously on Bill Putzer. Together with his parents, Bill established M. Putzer Hornby Nursery Limited, which produces some of the finest nursery stock in Southern Ontario. With his nursery near the Landscape Ontario building, Bill was always willing to lend a hand or a backhoe. Bill was a quiet leader. His co-workers excelled under his mentorship and guidance. With a smile that he wore every day, Bill had a warm and gentle presence. He was a scuba diver, and he loved exploring the world under the sea, drifting in the currents, shining his smile, tending the soil, nurturing trees, as well as our association. Bill embraced all the elements of life. Over 30 years ago, Bill and his father John planted 2 rows of pear trees right at the entrance of LO as a gift to his association family. They continue to flourish to this day, a living monument to Bill's legacy.
At this time, let's pause to remember all of the industry members, friends, and colleagues we've lost this past year.
The award is given to the project which has earned judges top marks for execution of unique and innovative design.
Parkscape for High Park.
Kid you not. When we won, I was like, oh, they made a mistake. We won the Casey Van Maris Award. Is this us? And then JJ calls me right away. He's like, this actually happened. And then everyone's calling each other, and my wife's wondering what's going on. Told her it's the second highest award at Landscape Ontario. Is truly wonderful. We talked about it for weeks to go. This project started 3 years ago. We had to come in here, do some small grading work for the builder to keep moving forward. And then naturally progressed, we came in to do the landscaping right after the pool work. There was a loose design done, but JJ came in here and really made this into a modern masterpiece.
It was important to the client and their large family that we maximize the space as much as possible back here. From the large sport court to the vast hot tub pool combo to even the largest smoker on the market, everything was designed with that in mind. The other unique design component of this backyard was the cantilevered cabana, which houses not only a change room, washroom, but also all the pool equipment so that the clients can have a nice outdoor shaded environment to really enjoy the space. As with most downtown properties, privacy was a must for these clients. On either side, we're flanked by a large church, a future condo building, so bringing in large plant material was almost a must. Through the use of custom crane hoists and other equipment, we were able to bring in mature plant species to create an instant effect so that the client could have their own little private oasis back here. Something that people may not realize as they enter the space is the 5-foot grade difference from one side of this property to the other. Through the use of creative retention systems, we were able to create a really flat surface for the family to use.
I started this company 9 years ago, along with my sister and James, and step by step, slightly bigger, kept always reinvesting in equipment and staff. It's been amazing, the reception we've got from our guys. We're actually super proud of the award, and we built a stand in our office where we have the plaques up high, and we made a pedestal for the award, front and center, and to remind the guys of all our hard work and dedication. But just, it's been wonderful for the culture. Everyone loves working for an award-winning landscaper.
I love this notion that what we do is rooted in simple, ancient theories. For centuries, the idea of the 4 natural elements, earth, fire, air, water, have inspired everything from art to medicine. So really, the projects that you're about to enjoy are just bringing age-old concepts together, but in the most extraordinary ways. Here are the final winners in the Awards of Excellence Construction Program.
Residential construction, $100,000 to $250,000. All-Weather Landscape Co., Annex Residence. Aquaview Pools, Tranquility in Nobleton. Boss Landscaping, Countryside Comfort Living. Dr. Landscape, 11.25 inches out of square. Flattery Design, Castle Frank. Frontiers Landscape Architecture, Country Escape. GBC Design and Build, Midtown Elegance. GBC Design and Build, Modern on the Curve. International Landscaping, Relaxing under the Mature Pines. LandCon, Play and Chill. ME Contracting, Dunblane. Michael Scott Landscaping, Suburban Retreat. Niagara Outdoor, Lake Erie Luxe. Niagara Outdoor, Peach Harbor. Niagara Outdoor, Sluicy Style. Niagara Outdoor, The Back 40. Oak Ridge Group, European Delight. Oak Ridge Group, South Kingsway, OGS Landscape Services, Afternoon Escape, Parkscape, Lawrence Park, Parkscape, Lytton Park, Poolcraft, Alexander Woods, Poolcraft, Park, Poolcraft, Second, Proscape Land Design, Meadowood Elegance, Royal Stone Landscaping and Design, Stonehaven, Streamline Irrigation and Landscape Services, Maple Ave, Three Seasons Landscapes, Paradise of the Neighborhood, Whispering Pines Landscaping, Country Living, Whispering Pines Landscaping, Fireside Retreat, Wood Bully, The Cedar Resort, Residential construction, $250,000 to $500,000. A Bloom landscape contractor, Swimming in Symmetry. Aquaview Pools, Four Season Retreat. Aquaview Pools, Private Escape. Balsam Creek Landscaping, The Van Every Residence. CCS Pool and Landscape, Oro Escape. Cedar Springs Landscape Group, Serenity in Small Spaces. Cedar Springs Landscape Group, Tropical Hideaway. Earthscape, Bowman Project. Elias Stone Kings, Parkway Ave. Frontiers Landscape Architecture, Urban Muskoka. GBC Design and Build, Oasis in Carlisle. GBC Design and Build, Zen. Griffith Property Services, Pandemic Paradise. Ian McGregor Pools and Landscaping, Natural Elements. International Landscaping, Contemporary Giardino. International Landscaping, luxury sunroom by the patio. International landscaping, rear yard retreat. International landscaping, restorative rear yard. Jonathan Robert Landscape and Design, Astrolabe Ravine. Kenneth Morgan Pools and Landscaping, Cabana Nights. Kenneth Morgan Pools and Landscaping, Stepping into Paradise. LandCon, Complete Makeover. LandCon, Layered Luxury. Mike's Landscaping, Muskoka Morning. Nature's Choice Landscape Construction, Humber Valley, #MyHappyPlace. Parkscape, Rosedale Sanctuary. Partridge Fine Landscapes, Into the Night. Partridge Fine Landscapes, The Queen's Gambit. Poolcraft, Sophia Olivia. Precision Landscaping, Winchester Lane. ProLand Landscape Construction, Contemporary Poolscape. ProLand Landscape Construction, Hazel Ridge. ProLand Landscape Construction, Pheasant Village. Proscape Land Design, Hickson Stunner. Rockscape, Lake Joe Cottage. Royal Stone Landscaping and Design, a foundation for relaxation. Royal Stone Landscaping and Design, a modern escape. Scenic Stone Landscape and Design, Nature's Elegance. Streamline Irrigation and Landscape Services, Reich Boulevard. Terra Vista Landscape Construction, Caliendo Lake House. The Imrie Group, Stony Ridge. The Landmark Group, Panoramic Paradise. Residential construction, $500,000 to $1 million. Cedar Springs Landscape Group, Country Charm. Cedar Springs Landscape Group, Modern Escape. Cedar Springs Landscape Group, Wonderful in White. International Landscaping, Waterwise Hardscape. Kenneth Morgan Pools and Landscaping, Miami Vibes. Kenneth Morgan Pools and Landscaping, The Mona Lisa. Land Art, Hillview. Nature's Choice Landscape Construction, Creme de la Creme, Curtis Crescent. Partridge Fine Landscapes, The Great Escape. Stone Life Landscaping, Beach Entry Backyard Getaway. The Landmark Group, Tranquil Hideaway. Titan Landscape Design, Backyard Resort. Residential construction, over $1 million. Cedar Springs Landscape Group, Living Large. Rockscape, Lake Simcoe Residence. Royal Stone Landscaping and Design, Pressing Reset.
Tonight's ceremony couldn't have happened without the generosity of our supporting partners. And a big thanks to our presenting sponsor, G&L Group, for being such an elemental part of tonight's ceremony. If you registered to join the President's reception, which took place just before the ceremony, you were automatically entered into the draw for a week's stay at Mont Tremblant. Watch your inbox tomorrow to see if you won. Congratulations to all of tonight's Awards of Excellence winners. Thank you to everyone who entered and put your work out there to be judged. Now, the Green Stamp recognition has been part of the awards program for over a decade, but this year saw stamps given to more projects than ever before. Given the environmental crisis our planet faces, we salute those companies that have prioritized green practices, sustainable landscapes, and best practices such as the use of permeable paving, native plantings, water conservation strategy, and green roof technology. Let's all aim to be part of the solution and aim to have even more Green Stamp projects next year.
Green Stamps were awarded to Country Living by Whispering Pines Landscaping for its use of locally sourced materials and pre-existing materials. Peach Harbor by Niagara Outdoor for its low-impact construction and erosion mitigation plantings. Rear Yard Retreat by International Landscaping for its living wall and green roof. Stony Ridge by the Imrie Group for its soil reclamation, use of natives and vegetable garden. Patton by Green Roots Landscaping for its use of permeable pavers. Waterwise Hardscape by International Landscaping for its stormwater management. Lake Simcoe Residence by Rockscape for its strategy to mitigate erosion with plantings instead of retaining wall. Native Perennial Pollinator Garden by International Landscaping for its native plantings. Carson's Pond by Jackson Pond for the natural pond. And a project that did not qualify to win an award of excellence, yet the judges felt was worthy of a green stamp because of its excellent use of native plantings, Stonehouse Wildflower Meadow by Lavish.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the winner of the Dunnington Grubb Award.
Nature's Choice Landscape Construction for Stellar Spicewood.
My name is Anthony Niero, and I own and operate Nature's Choice Landscape Construction. There was definitely landscaping in my blood. I worked for relatives growing up, so through high school, through university, there was always that landscape thing going on.
Almost from the first time we met him, it was like we didn't really look elsewhere. I just had the confidence in Anthony that he would deliver what he would say that he would deliver, knowing that he had the same principles and values and meticulous nature that I would.
It was really important for us to match the stones that you see here on the garden walls with the house. It was important for our client to really capture the essence of the home in the landscape. We have a beautiful driveway. It boasts over 6,000 square feet. It is a heated driveway. Welcome to the backyard. You can see that we back onto conservation. This gave us a wonderful backdrop. One of the things that we ensured was that we could match the backdrop with beautiful, large, mature trees that were spaded into the property. The overall symmetry and the balance was something that I was proud of. And so I knew it was an award winner. To how far that was gonna go, we weren't sure, but it was definitely in the cards. Since 2013, we've always been at the award ceremony. This year was different because of COVID. We had 2 computer screens up, and it was myself, my wife, and my 4 boys. You always have that inkling and that hope. I think there was more shock from my family, but it was a genuine moment, and it was a great moment. I think winning that award just solidifies who we are and why we do it. I think that's the important thing. It emphasizes that it's not only what we do, but it's how we do it, and that is to do things right.
Anthony was just a pleasure to work with. We've actually become great friends as well.
And I'm just happy and proud to be part of this space and the opportunity to have landscape there.
For us, it's just simple. It just works. It works for us, it works for our family, and that's what we really wanted out of it. And then to have awards is like the icing on the cake. It's beautiful.
Our ultimate goal is to make sure that the experience that the homeowner has working with Nature's Choice is that of a positive one. That could be my legacy, to offer, a positive, wonderful experience that can lend itself to years of enjoyment. Then that's really what it's all about.
Beginning tonight, the Neil Vanderkirk Award for Excellence in Landscape Design will be presented annually to the most outstanding and highest overall scoring project from the design categories.
It is in memory of a man that breathed life into every endeavor he took on. He grew NVK Nurseries into one of Canada's largest wholesale nurseries, with over 1,000 acres of diverse plant production.
Neil was a founding member of Landscape Ontario, a past president, and an honorary life member. I should also note he was the person responsible for convincing Tony DiGiovanni to take the job.
On behalf of my family, it is with great pride that we present the inaugural winner of this prize, named in honor of my father
and my grandfather, Neil Vanderkirk.
Daru Designs for Serenity.
A passion for landscaping has flowed through the Salavan family for 4 generations. The Don Salavan Award for Grounds Management was created to recognize the project that demonstrated superior maintenance skills, skills which ultimately protect or even enhance the value of the original landscape investment. Let's reveal the winner of the Don Salavan Award for Excellence in Grounds Management.
All Weather Landscape Co. Limited for Kensington.
Year after year, it gives me such great pleasure to keep the flame of my grandfather's pioneering spirit alive with the presentation of the Casey Van Maris Award. This award is given to the project which earned judges top marks for execution of unique and innovative design. Basically, it's the project that got the judges all fired up. Tonight's winning project will surely have people talking. Here is the Casey Van Maris Memorial Award winner.
Cedar Springs Landscape Group for Wonderful in White.
Little did Howard Dunnington Grubb know that the company he started in 1913, Sheridan Nurseries, would endure and survive not one, but 2 pandemics. Each time, the company has learned and adapted ways of doing business and emerged stronger for it. I want to applaud all the dedicated frontline workers across the industry, from garden center cashiers to maintenance crews, who worked so hard to serve customers and clients over the past 2 years. You made it possible for us to keep the doors open. It is always my great pleasure to present one of the most coveted awards of the evening. Named for our Sheridan founder, the Dunnington Grubb Award is presented to the project that received the highest overall score within the construction program. With a landscape that simply and beautifully demonstrates what it means to have all its elements in harmony, let's reveal this year's Best Construction Project.
The Landmark Group for Tranquil Hideaway.
Congratulations to all of tonight's winners. We want to thank a great friend of Ello, the talented Albert Graves of Bloomin' Decor, for designing and constructing our incredible set. Now, we hope to see everyone in person next year for when we are planning to be a huge celebration. Preparations are already underway for the golden anniversary of the Ello Awards. 50 years of celebrating the best of the best. Tonight, though, we give the final word to someone who has been a key element of Ello's success for about 30 of those 50 years. And any of those element cliches technically work for him. He's been our solid foundation, a powerful current, the wind beneath our wings. He fires us up. But given that this is his last award show with us, there's actually another element that might be more appropriate. Often considered the fifth element, it's the void, or space, and the void left when he leaves will be significant. Ladies and gentlemen, landscapers, Tony DiGiovanni.
I want to extend my congratulations to all recipients of this year's Awards of Excellence. For over 32 years, I've been an enthusiastic spectator to this annual parade of skill and passion. The core of the awards program are individuals and teams who have learned to work with and maintain nature's elements and put them together in ways that evoke emotion. Their landscapes demonstrate care for the environment, reflect creativity, reveal beauty, and inspire others to improve. This ceremony provides continuity from one year to the next and from one generation to another. You know, when I started working for Landscape Ontario, I was usually the youngest person in the room. Now I'm usually the oldest. These days, I get to work with the sons, daughters, and even grandchildren of the members I started out with, and it was touching to see some of them on stage tonight. During my time here at Ello, I had the pleasure of meeting awesome and wonderful individuals. I've been supported, mentored, encouraged, enriched, and energized by so many. It felt like family, really. There have been good times and challenging times. I've been privileged to fight alongside you as we dealt with serious issues and was strengthened by your resilience. I've been humbled by your trust in me and honored to have played a role in making your collective dream a reality. My stepping away from Landscape Ontario created a void, but nature abhors a vacuum. So I'm really excited to see Joe Salemi step into the role of Executive Director with his own vision and unique abilities to further grow this association. There's a foundation of values that keeps this wonderful organization going. We are an interdependent group of people who care for one another. Collectively, we work together to build a prosperous and valued profession. Our common work is to enhance lives. And may I say, on a personal note, that all of you have enhanced mine. This is my last awards program as a staff member of Landscape Ontario. It's a bittersweet moment for sure, but what an incredible journey. Thanks for watching. Good night and farewell.